Good morning, Periscope. Good morning, how are you? This is Elkie of Savvy Moms Unite, where I teach moms how to live a simple, practical, and realistic life. Good morning, Dana. What's up? How are you? So I'm on here today because I just made it to my fourth month, 4 months of being on my vegan plan. And thank you. Good morning. And I'm excited because, as I've said before, I couldn't imagine I would be on this journey. I really was I wasn't a believer. I was not a believer. I didn't think it was possible. I thought I was incapable of doing this. And the fact that I'm going 4 months is pretty impressive. I will be transparent and say that 100% it hasn't been, because it's been really hard when I travel. So I've had to adjust as I travel. But when I'm home, I'm 100% invested. Thank you so much, Dana. I'm 100% invested in it because I feel that when I'm following it, majority of the time, I feel much better. And that's what I'm going on. I'm not going on anymore of the weight and the losing of it. That's, a byproduct of doing this, in the best way possible. But I'm really going on how I feel. And that's a different, intention. That's a different perspective than I've gone through any change in diet in the past. I want to feel good. It's about me feeling good. So for breakfast, who would have thought I would be eating sprouted toast with avocado as if it's just normal? That wouldn't have been me months ago. I probably would have been like, that's not enough. I could eat that and be fine, right? I was used to bacon and eggs and, toast with butter and some kind of something along those lines, biscuits, gravy. I was used to that. And the fact that I can have that and be like, I'm good, and have a piece of fruit, that's pretty amazing. And I love it. It's great tasting. So let me get on to the myths. So one of the myths was that it's completely impossible to do. I defied that. I'm a meat eating African bred child. And I'm doing it. I've been eating meat since I can remember, since I had enough teeth to chew. So the fact that I can go this long without having red meat, which was one of my favorites, I haven't even tasted a burger. When I tell you, like, when I said no, like, I haven't tasted a burger, I haven't had a steak, it's pretty impressive. I did have like fish when I traveled to Oklahoma. Not every place is vegan friendly, so I did have fish. And I might, as I said, after the 6 months, I might just have it once in a blue moon. But the fact that I've cut out chicken and red meat and been fine with that is pretty amazing for me. So it's possible. Is it expensive? So the first thing you think, okay, you're going to be buying so much fruits and veggies, it's going to start adding up. Initially, there is a cost, of course, because you're readjusting your diet, you're readjusting your grocery list, and what you're used to spending, you won't spend initially. But as you get to learn what you like and get to understand what you want to eat, and start figuring out foods that work with you, work best for your lifestyle, you will start to see actually you're not spending as much as you originally thought. So for one thing, beans are cheaper than meat, and beans can last you a long time. They have a good shelf life in terms of dry beans. So I felt they've been cheaper to buy than I would buy some steak, or a rack of ribs, right? You of course can supplement. You can use smoothies as a breakfast and add chia seeds to it. Chia seeds, if you buy a whole 5-pound bag, it could be really inexpensive, and that's a good source of protein. You start to learn other things give you protein. You could get protein from vegetables, leafy greens. So you're not, I don't feel like I'm spending as much as I used to now. But initially I was feeling the pinch because I just hadn't gotten an understanding fully yet of what I should eat. I was doing my research. But now that I have a handle, I feel like I do spend far less than I did before. Um, some other myths. You will you won't be healthy. Like you can't live a really healthy lifestyle um because you're taking certain things out of your diet, and that's not true. I have to say, and I haven't seen my PCP yet. I will see my PCP um in May. Uh for what I've experienced, just all the stuff that I was happening, all the things that I was going through, I was my kidney stones, issues with sleep, um, moodiness, just really down, feeling sick all the time. I haven't had those feelings. And this is personal, but whatever. I'm transparent in that way. My monthly cycles were extremely heavy. Part of my fibroids, extremely heavy, extremely painful. They would last for almost 8 days. I've gone to 5 and they're lighter in 4 months. So I feel it's made a difference in how I feel in my health. I'm not dealing with all those issues. My stones, I didn't have to have surgery for my stones. I was able to push them out. So, I mean, I just, for me, thank you, thank you. For me, I feel like it's made a difference health-wise. And I'm sure if I go and have my yearly check, all the things that I was going through, I would have reversed them. I was severely anemic, low iron. I'm eating a lot more leafy greens, so I'm getting my iron now. And I'm not dealing with the sluggishness that I was dealing with. I was borderline, going towards, I was at risk for diabetes, so there was all these things that were happening that I feel like I have overcome because of this. So if someone is saying, oh, you can't be healthy and be a vegan, you're not getting it enough, you can get enough if you're smart. You just have to find ways to get the vitamins that you would get from other foods in a different way. And it's just a change. It's just a shift in mindset. So when I have told some people and they're like, yeah, you're probably not getting all you need. I'm like, you'd be shocked. You'd be really surprised at how much you can get. And do your research. I urge you, go online, Google, follow some vegan sites on Facebook. PETA is a good site. I also get like weekly emails from different vegan subscription groups just to kind of keep me informed, because I just I love doing research. That's my thing. But yeah, just those were the 3 things that sort of came to mind as I was thinking about some myths. And I'm sure there's others. Yes. Oh yeah. And vegans are crazy about, it's always the Whopper eaters. Yes. And I'm like, the only thing that I would say I missed the most was, initially were burgers, because I was such a red meat eater. I missed the burger. Like, I would always crave them, especially around my cycle. And I've had my cycle 3 times and never caved in. I just was like, all right, I'll find another way to curb that craving. And that's what you learn. You're like, okay, if I'm craving protein, that means I need to increase my protein intake in another way. Is your stale changing? What is stale? Yes. So, it's not as heavy. It's not as painful. It's shortened, which is good, because I was going on 8 days, which is not normal, for a cycle. So, and it was extremely painful, like to the point where some days I'd have to take a few hours out of work because it was so bad. And I don't like taking painkillers. I just don't. I don't want to take them. I don't want to rely on them. And it was so bad in the past that I would almost want to take like heavy prescription pills. And my doctors even suggested that I do that because I was having such bad cycles and pain. But I just wouldn't do it. I would bear the pain and cry at night in my bed because I was in so much pain. This last time I had it, I was so surprised at how little cramps I had. Like, I almost forgot that I was about to experience. Usually I know when it's coming because the pain is so severe. Dana, you're so right. I mean, well, doctors aren't, for the most part, trained on nutrition. It's a very small section of their training. So they only know what they know. And it's really, yes, it is sad. And we have to learn as, adults that we're going to have to make our own decisions and listen to our bodies ourselves. We have to listen to our bodies ourselves and figure out what works best for us and not rely on the doctors all the time, because we know our bodies. We're very well in tune with them, and we can always be smart about it. We don't have to, excuse me one second. I'm gonna just show you, this is random, okay? I'm truly really good. So I'm making a cake for one of my students. His birthday was Monday. Look at that. Now, that's not vegan at all. They're not vegan. The kids aren't vegan. So I just made a marble cake for them, and I won't have any. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, I sidetracked, but just so... Yes, it got everything in there that you're not supposed to have. It got gluten, it has eggs, it has vegetable oil, it has all the stuff that I would not eat. But the kids love it, and they asked for it, so I made it. But the fact that I can still bake those items and not indulge is pretty great. I'm committed. And you have any other questions? Anybody that's on? I will share this on my page, Savvy Moms Unite, and in my group as well. If you'd like to follow me, I have a Facebook group and a fan page where I share information. And I also am on Instagram, SavvyMomElkie, Twitter, and Periscope, of course. And yeah, just follow my page, join my group. Weight loss so far, yes. So scale-wise, I've lost 25 pounds. And I've just seen like a steady pound loss. But in terms of my clothes, I'm gone down 2 sizes. So I was almost in a 20. I'm back to my 14. Thank you. I'm back to my size 14. Oh, girl, my skin. And honestly, the things that you could do to totally simplify your life is crazy. So I've always been someone, as of more recently, in the recent years, I always drank water. I stopped drinking soda years ago. I don't drink soda. I'd always, really force water. But when I went on this journey as a vegan, I realized I really had to stick to my water drinking. And once I was committed, I saw the difference in my skin. I felt the difference in my belly. Like, I wasn't feeling that, like, nasty, heavy feeling. I started to see a difference in how I was eating. So it really makes a difference. The water, the leafy greens, they do really well for your skin. I hear pineapple is really good for your skin. Yes, I do need to. And we'll do for sure. What else? Yeah, no, I've seen a difference in the way my clothes fit. I'm fitting clothes that I hadn't fit in a long time. And I haven't had to buy any new clothes because I just kept old clothes. And so my goal is to not have to buy clothes for a while. I really want to save on that budget items. So I've just been shopping in my closet and wearing the stuff that I couldn't wear before. I'm not really focused on the scale like I said before, because when I get on it, yes, absolutely. And I'm trying to learn to sew, so I might do it myself because I'm all about saving that cash. But yeah, no, in terms of gosh, Dana, I'm lost my train of thought. Yes, the scale. So when I get on the scale, it looks like I'm losing like point zero pounds, right? But when I look in the mirror and when I've gone out, people have noticed. Like the other day, a coworker was like, "Oh my God, you look great. You lost a lot of weight." And I was like, "But when I get on the scale, it doesn't really show." So, yes. So I've just not bothered with it. I just focus on how I feel because I want to feel better versus the weight. The weight I know will come off, but me feeling good, waking up in the morning feeling good and looking good, like I look in the mirror and I feel good about how I look, that's what I want to focus on. And so every now and then I get on the scale just to see, but sometimes it could be a real mental battle, and it just reminds me of my past history with weight loss and my discouragement I would get on the scale. So I don't suggest you do it right away. I just suggest you do it before you start so you know in terms of numbers how far you've come. But test it by clothes, how you look, take pictures. Definitely take pictures and do comparison shots. Those help because, as you know, photos say a lot. And focus on the journey, learn. You will make mistakes. You will have moments of stress and challenge. Like when I traveled recently, one time I had just lettuce and raw veggies for lunch because there were no options at the hotel where we were staying for the lunch. We were at a conference, so I literally just had like a plate of veggies. And that was hard. I was so hungry by dinner. And so I had to really make sure I had snacks on hand to carry me over. No, I was so sad. I was telling my sister, I was like, oh my God, this is really like sad. I have to find something else to eat. And so, that's when I had the fish later that day because I was super hungry. And I knew that if I didn't fill myself up with something strong because they didn't have beans, the veggie sandwich they had just wasn't going to hold me over. So in order to not totally sabotage myself, I just went ahead and had at least a piece of fish. But I've been able to pretty much stay very close to it, and I'm happy about that. But thank you again. Thank you, Miss Dana. Do you eat bread? I do. And if I do eat bread, it is a bread that I get from a local natural market called spelt flour bread. And it has seeds in it. It has sesame seeds, flax seeds. It's really good. It doesn't taste like your typical bread. It's very like you can taste the grains. And I like it. It's much better for you. You can digest it better. Every now and then I might have some other type of bread, like I might have some multigrain or white. It's not often. I try to stick to my bread that I have at home. That's what I had for this morning for breakfast, was the spelt flour bread. Because it's, like I said, you have to navigate these waters as best as possible. Do your research before you go out to eat at restaurants. That's what I do now. I might call ahead and ask them, what do you put in your certain items? I stay away from salad dressings, or I make my own. I just don't. You'll be surprised at the ingredients. The other day I went to the store and I was looking at the Newman's organics dressing, and it had fish. It had like fish something in it. I was like, why? I'm like, why are you putting that in a balsamic vinaigrette? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like some of the dressings just have stuff in it that, Right. But you're like, what I understand of what a balsamic vinaigrette is, it's like it's red wine vinegar with oil. Like it shouldn't have too much. Like you just might have to make your own dressings and making your own mayo and make you will become creative in the kitchen. It's just going to be part of your process. And I was already on that path anyway, so trying to do that wasn't too hard. Um but it is an adjustment. You will have to make more things at home. And you'll start to love that you make things at home because you know how it tastes. You flavor it the way you want it, you know what's in it, you feel safe in eating it. Whereas if you're out, you just never know what the ingredients might incorporate. So any other questions? Oh, you got some great questions, Dana. Any other questions? All right. Well, once again, thank you for being on my scope this morning. This is Elkie of Savvy Moms Unite, where I teach moms how to live a simple, practical, realistic life. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, as well as Instagram, Savvy Mom Elkie. My Facebook fan page and group is Savvy Mom Unite. Please join the group. That's where I share tons of information. And look out for my Savvy Mom on a Vegan Budget coming your way soon. But thanks again. Love the hearts. And I'll talk to you soon.